This is going to be the second and last reading that I'll be doing to support Wrapped Glass, the show that's up at Right Window Now of mine, surprisingly. I'll be reading three pieces from the manuscript called Love's Mind. Witchwalk 19. Wrapped Glass assumes the walker urban, nocturnal, who by night or dreamy day drifts past work-related concerns to glance thingward, noting the random gleam of a made place whose temporary situation rhymes with the known precarity of life lived, with unknown lives clustered in and outside of risk which doesn't stop anyone from doing anything despite being fixed, broken, fixed again, and in suspense, thick with connected bliss, including of being shut in, cut, adorned, fused, arrayed, insistent, and displayed, whose unresolved story, unscrolled and wired into consummation, distracted by containment, is directly aimed at doing without, within the context of traveling through diagrams imposed by found, rusted, opaque maps of skeletonized sunlight radiating into wrapped windows and glassy eyes, passing by the same place at the same time, obligated by the moment's existence to keep oblique while maintaining a familiar distance, coincident with being carried away by the timeline made anomalous by the everyday aspect of the ongoing problem of what could possibly be meant by what is happening now. Witchwalk 20. Quote, I walk the unbelieving streets, Jack Spicer, guided by mind, from inner to outer space and time, oneself as reassigned, resigned to customs of place and brain, whose veins, clear of the familial threat of abrupt failure, per grueling tests, which, having passed, left one's corpus rife with nervy vigilance, despite free capillaries' momentous flow, making the walk while walking, the list while listening to the history of tints, rare as ruby glass-hued, blues common as mood threaded through colors of air and sky, to apprehend the bright locomotion located in a head from which a body depends, like a line extended. Further and faster out for the sheer fuck of thought-generated action, maximizing today's walk's effect of keeping things level-headed, while each next step's inner mechanisms rhyme with each next deft retention of time kept while continuing to fall out, if not down, resolutely, managing vicissitudes of cats, moans of dogs, clack of birds, barriers, fruit, books, vases, free and abandoned as frames, fastened into a perspective display of rapture, attachment, and glassy clarity, gridded into hive-like wire opening onto the aforementioned brain's parade on and down the streets away. And finally, the last piece of the manuscript, which I've just written, and so I'll probably change it, but I'm going to read it anyway. Witchwalk 35, with which, quote, seething, wholehearted life force, upright, unostentatious plainness, Hilma af Klint. I collect myself to regain paradise, recollecting as Andromeda chained to have won a prize in Af Klint's imaginative early life, before she morphs into a divine elasticity of mind realized with her circle of women, called the Five or the Friday Group, delineating the Venusian day's Venusian way of making visible abstractions symmetric state of vividly hued patterns whose obtuse angles provide proofs of desire and satisfaction, as of a game with opponents, companions, judges, fans, flames, All inside what love's mind shows to be damned as the witches we know we are, as fallen, flown, and performatively cloven, we plain say, plain do and be, the lovers and covens of each one and each other who, chosen, conjured, overlooked, underrated, and overloaded, conceive their triumph as that which comes from love's mind, out of love's mouth, entirely in love's sweet time, against whatever prevents the gestures and perspectives necessarily present among the celebrants of this fraught place of witching, bitching, fleeing, and finding. We make as we survive. We play ourselves being alive. Thank you.